Hope you are enjoying the captivating tales of Vikram and Betal. If you find them intriguing, consider subscribing to our channel. The story continues. Vir Vikeramaditya again captured the Betal and began his journey towards the tantric. Betal started telling the second story. Once upon a time, a famous king named Pratap Mukut ruled the kingdom of Kasi. He had a son named Vajra Mukut. Both of his parents loved him very much and always ensured that their prince was always in front of their eyes. Gulabdas, the son of the minister, was of the same age group as the prince, and they were very good friends. Gulabdas was extremely intelligent and always made sure that the prince did not get into any trouble. King Pratap was aware of Gulabdas's intelligence and ensured that Gulab always accompanied his son, Prince Vajra. They grew up together and became great friends. One day, Vajra planned to go hunting in the jungle. He, along with his friend Gulab and a few soldiers, left for hunting. After entering the deep forest, the prince saw a golden deer and wanted to hunt it. He chased the deer by riding his horse. Gulabdas followed the prince, and the deer started running with full speed in the south direction. However, Prince Vajra continued chasing the deer. After a long chase, the deer disappeared into the dense jungle. Now, the prince and his friend Gulabdas were in the dense jungle and had lost their way. The soldiers were also separated from the prince and his friend. When the prince couldn't find the footprint of the deer, he was exhausted and relaxed on the riverbank. They were not even aware of the place and the name of the river. Gulabdas asked his prince to wait there, and he arranged for some wild fruits to consume. After eating, due to the very long chase, they both felt sleepy and slept in the shadow of a tree on the riverbank. After some time, suddenly, the prince's sleep was interrupted by the voice of girls. He saw on the opposite side of the river a beautiful girl sitting with a few other beautiful young girls. When the prince saw that girl, he admired her beauty, fell in love with her, and declared, "I love her. I want to marry that beautiful girl." After hearing these words, Gulabdas woke up, and upon inquiring, he found out that a beautiful girl was on the opposite side of the river bank, and the prince had fallen for her. The prince kept repeating that she is a beautiful girl, and he wants to marry her. Gulabdas tried his best to explain to the prince and advised him to return to his kingdom. However, he realized that the prince was in love with that beautiful girl. So he decided to help his friend, Prince Vajra, locate the girl. He asked the prince to tell him all the actions performed by the girl. After listening to the prince, Gulabdas concluded that she is from Karnataka state and is the princess of Karnataka. They both planned to go to Karnataka to meet the princess. After a day of the journey, they reached the border of Karnataka. Meanwhile, Gulabdas requested his friend Prince Vajra to let him manage the situation, and Vajra agreed, knowing that his friend was very intelligent. Upon entering the Karnataka border, they found a small home where an old lady was sitting and doing some household work. They approached her and said, "Oh mother, can we get something to drink?" The old lady was very kind. She offered water and asked them to have food at her place. After having food, Gulabdas asked the old lady, "Oh mother, can we stay here for some days?" He introduced himself, and she was very happy that the prince and his friend wanted to stay in her house. Gulabdas then asked the old lady where she worked in the morning. She answered that she worked in the king's place in the service of Princess Devarupa. Gulabdas immediately requested the lady, "Mother, will you do another favor for us?" She agreed happily. He informed her to pass a message to the princess that a prince has come to meet her, whom she saw the day before yesterday on the other side of the riverbank. He is the prince of Kasi, Vajra Mukut, and he wants to meet her. The old lady told the same thing to Princess Devarupa when she found her alone. The princess was very angry at the old lady, threw a sandalwood on her, and said, "Oh mad old lady, what are you saying? Go outside of my room, or I will hit your face with your 2 hands." The old lady was scared upon hearing the words of Princess Devarupa and ran away. She informed this to Gulabdas, who laughed. The old lady was shocked and unable to understand anything. Gulabdas smiled and said to both the prince and the old lady that Princess Devarupa was very happy and wanted to meet the prince. Both the prince and the old lady were immediately happy, realizing how Gulabdas had interpreted the situation. Next day, he sent the old lady with a new message. The princess, instead of being grateful, threw an ink bottle on the old lady's face. The old lady was scared by the action of the princess and ran away. She informed this to Gulabdas, who smiled again and said, "Oh my innocent mother, you will never understand the language of a beautiful princess. It's her way of communicating messages. She is asking the prince to meet her at midnight on the full moon day." Gulabdas helped his friend, Prince Vajra, enter the princess's palace. Upon seeing the prince, she immediately hugged him, and they both started living happily there. Gulabdas stayed at the old lady's place, waiting for his friend Prince Vajra. After a few days, the prince thought he should meet his best friend Gulabdas, as he was missing his company. Upon hearing this from Prince Vajra's mouth, Princess Devarupa was very upset and angry. However, she pretended as if she wanted to thank his friend Gulabdas and prepared dishes for him by herself. She advised that he should give the food to Gulabdas only. The prince followed her instructions and offered the great food to his friend, informing him that it was prepared by Princess Devarupa. Gulabdas asked his friend if he had tasted any food. He nodded no. So Gulabdas said, "Good, the food is poisonous, don't consume it." The prince was in shock after hearing this from Gulab and disagreed with his saying. To prove his statement, Gulabdas offered a piece of bread to a dog sitting there, and after eating, the dog died. The prince was unable to understand and was very upset. He immediately declared, "I will kill Devarupa, she wants to kill you." Gulabdas smiled again and said, "O prince, Princess Devarupa is madly in love with you. She doesn't want your attention to divert anywhere, so she wants to kill me so that you can be with her always. It's a form of possessive love." Gulabdas, after deep thinking, asked the prince to go and collect all the ornaments that Princess Devarupa was wearing and make a symbol on her thigh. It should look like someone put the symbol on her thigh with a trishul. He did the same, brought all of her jewelry to Gulabdas, and made a symbol on her thigh. Gulabdas changed his dress to look like a tantric from the cremation ground and asked Prince Vajra to dress like a servant and try to sell all the jewelry to a big merchant in the city. He also advised that if someone caught him, inform them that this is your guru's jewelry, and you want to sell it for him. Bring them to me. The prince showed the jewelry to the biggest shop in the city, and immediately, they recognized that this was the ornament of the princess. They informed the police, and the police arrested the prince and his guru Tantrik, Gulabdas, presenting them in the king's court. Gulabdas, dressed like a tantric, informed the king's court that he was offered these jewels from a prostitute who came to meet him at night. If you don't believe it, you can check. I have made a symbol on her thigh. The king understood that the tantric was referring to the princess as a prostitute to hide her identity. The king ordered his wife to check for the symbol on the prince's thigh. The queen confirmed the symbol, and the king, to avoid any defamation to his kingdom and the princess, he ordered the princess to leave his kingdom as punishment without inquiring anything from her. The prince waited outside the Karnataka kingdom and took the princess with him, returning to his state. Both parents of the king and Gulabdas were happy to see the prince and Gulabdas back. They arranged a marriage for the princess with the prince, and all lived happily thereafter. Betal now asked Vikram, "O wise king, tell me who the sinner in this story is?" Vikram paused for some time and started answering Betal. Gulabdas was a true friend. His actions were always to protect the prince and help him achieve his desire, so his actions cannot be considered as sin. The old lady was helping her guests and trying to help her princess and the prince to meet, so it cannot be called a sin. The sinner is the king. He made the decision by hearing one side of the story and did not even try to find out the story of his daughter. He punished her without understanding the full situation. The moral of the story is, if you are in a position where your decisions impact other lives, you need to be calm and analyze all aspects of the situation before giving your judgment. Betal was happy with the answer of the king and said, "This will be a lesson for all. If you are in authoritative positions, always make decisions after analyzing all facts." After telling this to Vikram, he flew back to his tree, and King Vikram returned to capture the Betal again. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you like it, please subscribe to our channel. Invasion India. Also share and comment to make us better. You can check out our website invasionindia.in. Click the bell icon to get notified for our new stories. Thanks for your time. We'll meet soon in the next story. Till then, let's explore.